What's up, YouTube? It's the Action Figure Grader coming back to you with another video. And I received in the mail today 2 Electrostaff Purge Troopers. And this is an Entertainment Earth exclusive. And we'll take it out of the star case here to get a good look at it in a second. But I received 2 of these from Entertainment Earth. One of them arrived very warped. The card arrived very warped. So as I joked on Instagram, I'm giving it cardiopulmonary resuscitation. I stacked like a board game on top of that card back to try and flatten it out. We'll see how it goes, but it was so warped that it would not even fit in the star case properly. It was just rattling around in there. So this one actually arrived really well, but you know, on a packing from a packing perspective, I'd give Entertainment Earth about a 7 out of 10, maybe a 6 out of 10. They're not as good as what I've seen with Star Action Figures over in the UK. They're definitely not as good as Big Bad Toy Store, but they're definitely better than Walmart or Amazon with how they pack their vintage collection figures. So one of them arrived, I'd call it 85. This is probably like an 85 plus, maybe a 90 if I'm lucky. The other one, if I can get the card straight, it's probably a 90 plus. It is completely flawless. So that was good, but they didn't do a great job with protecting the figures, in my opinion, relative to some of those others. So now this is an Entertainment Earth exclusive, and I'm going to pull it out of the star case in a second. But I will say this, that even though this was an Entertainment Earth exclusive, Big Bad Toy Store did offer them for sale in collector grade on their website. Now the problem with Big Bad Toy Store is that they get everything super late. So I have no idea when I'm going to get I ordered one from them and I ordered 2 from Entertainment Earth. So they listed as November of this coming November for the arrival date for their collector grade version. So we'll see. But it seems like everything that I ordered with Big Bad Toy Store, it's always about a month or 2 behind when retail gets it and when some of the other retailers get it. But I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that if it means I get something that's in really mint condition. So let's take this one out of the star case though, so we can take a closer look. And I got some information that might be interesting. It may not be. Here is a close-up of the figure. Now the figure is a retool for the most part. It's a retool of VC45, of a VC45 clone trooper. I'll put that down here so you can take a look at that. But basically it's the exact same body sculpt. They just added like a skirt and kind of the pauldron and all that good stuff. What an awesome figure. So this is from Jedi Fallen Order. I was a big gamer for a long time. I played every single Battlefront game and, you know, all those kind of, you know, Star Wars video games, except for this one. This is the only one I never played just because I ran out of that finite quantity of time that is required. But I put in like thousands of hours into the Battlefront games. I really played the heck out of them. But I love the way this figure looks, but it is a straight retool for the actual figure, as Jedi Temple Archives mentions. And Jedi Temple says, hey, look, it's marketed as a totally new head sculpt. But Jedi Temple does mention that it's awfully similar to the 30th anniversary collection Airborne Trooper. And so I'll put a loose example down here as an insert so you can take a look at that head sculpt. It's pretty similar. But with that 30th anniversary figure, they were able to mold it such that it was a removable helmet. This one is not a removable helmet. So it is probably a retool, but it's also a lazy retool to a certain extent because the other one was removable, this one's not. And I don't know, I don't particularly care about that since I collect mint on card anyway. If you want an articulation in terms of how it's articulated, you know, here's kind of a loose press photo of this figure. But if you want to see articulation, you can go check out the Big Boy TVC Collectors, Only One Kenobi, or Boss Bounty. I'm sure that they've covered this figure at length, in detail, excruciating detail in terms of how the articulation looks. But I do love the accessory. The accessory is a really nice touch. It's really good. The card back is incredible. I love that card back. So that is just awesome. So here's the back of the card. It's VC195, and here are the other ones in the line. I've ordered doubles of all of these from Big Bad Toy Store in collector grade, so I'm sure they're coming at some point. But the Shadow Trooper is probably my favorite. You know, these 2 are probably my favorite. The Heavy Battle Droid's kind of a lazy repack, but I'll take it anyway. And then the Scout Trooper is also really nice. But the Shadow Trooper just looks incredible. So I got 2 of those in collector grade. I got doubles of all of these in collector grade, and then I got 3 of these. So I'm going to get a lot of these graded and then give away doubles to friends and things like that. So, but here's the back of the card, pretty standard card back. It's got the Gaming Greats logo there. And then on the front, you know, it just has the actual game it's referring to. So let me get that one back in the star case. And in the meantime, I'm going to show you another one. In my opinion, I don't know what Hasbro was thinking or if they have other plans for Starkiller, but I'm a little bit surprised that when they announced this Gaming Greats line, that they didn't go ahead and reissue Starkiller. He's been a really high demand figure for a while now. I know they've moved away and they said they're not going to do any more expanded universe card backs, but these Gaming Greats kind of card backs, I mean, this would have been a really easy thing to do, to put the Force Unleashed, which is where Starkiller's from, you know, on a logo here, and then use the exact same card back minus the offer sticker. I don't know why they didn't do that. The only thing I can think of is they either A, have other plans for Starkiller in terms of a re-release, or B, there's a licensing issue of some sort as it relates to the Starkiller, you know, trademark. So I don't know whether there's some issues there, but I would imagine there's not, because it's a Lucasfilm, you know, video game, so, or LucasArts video game. But anyway, here's my example. I thought I'd bring it back out since it's sort of related to video games and Gaming Greats. This is one I picked up a while ago. I've shown it on my channel a few times. This was in an auction, and nobody bid on it. I was completely shocked. I bid on it expecting to not win it, but I bid on it. I got it for $85 shipped. And it's VC 100, and this one is autographed by Sam Witwer, the actor that had his likeness and voice was, you know, used for Starkiller's representation in The Force Unleashed and The Force Unleashed 2. But just an epic item. I mean, I cannot believe I got this for $85. It's, you know, autographed and in really near mint condition, unpunched. And I had this one authenticated by CAS, the signature authenticated by JSA, James Spence Authentication. And then CAS graded the actual item. For those of you new to the channel, you can take autographed items like this and send it to Collector Archive Services. You pay a $35 fee to get the signature authenticated, and then you pay to actually have the, you know, 40 or 50 bucks to get the actual carded item graded. So it's not cheap to do it, but man, it looks awesome when it's done, and it's a yellow signature series label, 90, 90, 95, overall 90. And so that's how CAS denotes with signed items. It's a yellow label, signature series. So that is that. Now, the other topic I wanted to bring up, as I alluded to in my thumbnail, is Hasbro improving with their creativity with some of their new releases that are non-standard. You know, we obviously got the standard kind of releases that come out each, you know, quarter or so, and that's nice and everything. But you know, I think that this Gaming Great, for me anyway, the Gaming Greats wave that came out with all of these figures, while most of them were retools or repacks or repaints, I should say, with new card backs, I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this. I'm okay. I get the fact that Hasbro has R&D costs, and where they can reuse figure molds for new releases. I'm okay with it personally. This figure is different enough than VC45 that I think it's a great repack, and I have no problem with you know, when I say repack, I mean retool. They take an existing figure and repaint it and reposition it for a new release. If that's what they got to do to come up with kind of these more unique, you know, offerings, I'm okay with them doing that. I think it was a welcome kind of change, a welcome kind of shift by Hasbro. And, you know, obviously, I'll put up an insert now. Obviously, you guys know all about the animated Clone Wars figures that are coming out next spring, kind of March timeframe of 2022. You know, that is another line where, you know, they didn't really necessarily have much in the way of new retooling for the most part, but it's got brand new card art, brand new colors. What I have a problem with Hasbro, not to diverge too much away from the topic of creativity, you know, I get the fact that these store exclusives with Walmart and with Amazon and whatever else, that they wouldn't happen if they weren't store exclusives. And, you know, I've had subscribers mention that, say, hey, look, you know, be happy that we're even getting them at all. Don't complain that they're store exclusives. Well, I'm okay with them doing store exclusives. What I'm not okay with is Hasbro's inability and their partners' inability to number one, make the ordering process seamless. The pre-order process for those new animated Clone Wars figures coming out next March was a complete disaster. Any collector, any TVC collector that tried to buy those will tell you what a nightmare it was. It took me about 4 hours of constant refreshing on Walmart's idiotic, inane website to finally, you know, where they kept restocking it before I was finally able to get my orders in. And part of that is because of scalpers and, you know, scalpers buying 30 at a time. And, you know, I've got a problem with that. I think that they should limit it to 2, the way Entertainment Earth did with this Electrostaff Purge Trooper exclusive. They limited it to 2 orders per customer. That's the way Walmart should do it. I know that Walmart's in the business of making money and they don't particularly care who buys it, but I think Hasbro has enough clout with them that says, hey, if you want to continue to have our store exclusives, you need to make sure that these get out to as many customers as possible that want them, and not allow scalpers to go ahead and buy 30 of them. So to me, it's a no-brainer that they've got to work on the logistics process for ordering. It was a complete nightmare. The other problem I have is that with these store exclusives is that they don't usually get delivered in good condition. Now, I've got a couple of other examples that I consider lazy retool or lazy repacks or lazy store exclusives, but I bought them anyway because I think in the end I decided that they were different enough that and they were store exclusives that I think it made sense. And you know, looking back at that decision now, it was the right call, because on the resale market in high grade for these exclusives, they command big dollars now, as you guys have seen in my market updates. So first is the Mandalorian carbonized figure that came out last fall. Carbon Optic. This is the Walmart exclusive. And, you know, when these first got announced, I thought it was lazy. I was like, oh God, give me a break. But do we really need a carbonized TVC? And then, you know, I started thinking about it. I was like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and get them. So, you know, that shows you how weak I am from a consumer perspective. But, you know, they got the thicker cardstock. They got the really cool carbonized graphite, you know, sticker on there. You know, I think it was just barely different enough that I think it was a good decision to buy them. But I still consider it a fairly lazy, you know, repaint. And, you know, I look at these gaming grates that are out now. Here's the label on it for those that hadn't seen it. And, you know, and in all fairness to Walmart, this was a Walmart purchase. I purchased 2 of them. They both came in great condition. So this was a case, and I think part of it is because of the thicker cardstock, but both of them came in good condition, and I was able to get a 90 grade on this one direct from Walmart. This was not a scalper repurchase on eBay, so which is rare for me. Usually I don't bother with Walmart because they pack so poorly, but this one was a good example. But, you know, I look at something like this, and then I look at the gaming grates. I look at that new animated Clone Wars, and you know, I think that the argument can be made that despite retooling, that Hasbro is making strides with regard to creativity and doing it in an economical, fiscally responsible way to their shareholders, right? Because it costs money to do that stuff, but taking these figures and repackaging, repurposing them with new card backs and with new paint schemes, I think is a great way to do it. It satisfies the masses. So I would be curious to know what y'all's thoughts are on that topic, whether you give Walmart credit for taking a step beyond these simple carbonized figures. Here's Cara Dune. This one got an 85 plus, which I'm happy with. Again, this is one I got direct from Walmart. I think it had some light scuffing on the, let's see what the, no, they're saying that the card back was what held this one back. This one got a 90 on the blister, a figure 95, but the card got an 85. So let's see if we can figure out what caused that. I think it's because it's up here around the hang tab. I don't know if that's coming through or not, but it's got a little bit of card damage right up there. I think that's what held it back. Really nice though. So I'm glad I picked it up. I'm glad I got it graded, but I think that's what held it back, was that there's got a little bit of a light crease there that doesn't punch through to the other side. Anyway, I got off topic, but anyway, I'd love to know what y'all's thoughts are on that subject. Did you like the gaming greats? Are you excited about the Clone Wars animated figures coming out next spring, which I think everyone is, given how quickly they sold out? But do you give Hasbro credit for creativity, and do you ding Hasbro's reputation and their inability to kind of limit pre-orders and make sure that their distribution channels deliver to customers in good shape? So that's all I really had for this video. I try to avoid kind of look at my cool stuff videos now. I don't think it really serves that much of a purpose. There's plenty of people doing that out there, but I try to tie it when I can. When I do have a new arrival like this, it's nice to be able to tie it to a discussion topic that hopefully you guys will find interesting. That's all I really had. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll be back soon.